Here we go.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Rooster Teeth podcast. This week brought to you by... I'm Gus.
I'm Chad. Hey.
Bah.
I'm Bernie.
And I'm Gus.
It always takes the new person like the same amount of time to figure out that they're supposed to go.
I just didn't know where the camera was going next. I figured it was, but just in case, I was playing it safe.
Are you directing for Michael? I like it.
No.
Get to put the camera on me.
I think I'm done saying my name.
Why's that?
I just like making noises at this point.
Bah, bah.
Because it's like, who's the female voice on the podcast for people listening on audio? It's probably me.
Wow, look at that. Fucking arrogant.
Look at you, taking the crown. I like it. It's like, I introduce myself first and last. You need no introduction.
I just make a soundbite.
Damn, I want that too. How can I be first, last, and none?
Oh my God.
I don't know.
Make-up
How about
names?
just settle for none? How about that? We'd all be happy with that.
No, then they'll be confused. If it's Barbara Nunn, what I pointed at myself, if it's Barbara Nunn,
Nunn.
if it's Gus Nunn.
Forget who you were for a second.
Maybe I did a little identity.
Barbara will never be a
introduce
nun.
ourselves at this point. I mean, is this just something we do?
I think it's just,
I
I mean,
do.
every podcast we do that.
Yeah, you should
Off
absolutely
topic,
introduce
always
yourself.
open, everything.
For new
a-
viewers.
There's a thread that gets stickied on our subreddit for the podcast.
I know exactly what you're
And
talking
it literally is now that all the conversation essentially moved to chat once the chat launched on the site. Now it's just who's on it, and then that's it.
And then anything that gets announced during the podcast gets a separate thread.
Yeah.
Right.
Like they don't talk about it in that thread.
But it stayed sticky for like 3 days
I
based
don't know
on
why
it.
they bother still doing it.
I don't know either. It's like nobody's paying attention
It's
to
like it takes just as much effort to go to that thread and see who's on it than it does to just open up the video in a live stream, see who's on it, and exit out.
I can't make too much fun of them though, because I do the same stupid thing every week, which is I go like stop by the subreddit and I was like, oh, there's a podcast thread. Oh, there's a comment. Let me see what it is. And I always
always a
know.
bot. It's always a bot.
always going to be who's on it. No, it's not even a bot. It's a person who goes, this week the podcast is Gus, Chad, Barbara, Bernie, and Gus.
Every single
week.
But there's
And
also,
then-
there's also the bot that says 4:45 p.m. is 47 minutes from now or whatever.
Yeah.
So go to the subreddit, get in the podcast thread, and tell us your favorite butt.
Yeah. Bring it back.
Your favorite
Resurrect it.
Your favorite butt.
Yeah,
Your
resurrect.
favorite butt?
What's your favorite butt?
My wife's.
Oh,
Good
nice,
answer.
Chad.
Good answer.
They threw the camera on me. I'm like, I'm not falling for that.
Chad is like slave to the cameraman.
I never think to look. I guess you're looking straight at it.
Yeah, it's right in front of me.
You ever look at that monitor, Barbara?
Now I am. Now I'm very hyper aware of it.
I never look at it. I never pay attention to it.
Is it in a different place? No.
Nobody can even see what
I
we're
hope that picked
talking
up.
about.
No, you just never look at it, I guess.
I guess
You
not.
never pay attention to it.
Sometimes I just like if I need to pick my own nose or something, I'll make sure I'm not on monitor or whatever.
It's the cameras have little red lights on them that tell them which one's on. You don't need the monitor to see what's what.
Well, then
It's
if
the
you
same
look
thing.
at the camera, then you're looking
But
dead at the
She
camera.
doesn't
That's
know if
just
she's in
weird.
a wide or a single, though. It could be that one or it could be that one.
What the hell? What are you bringing to the podcast performance? Are you different in the wide than you are?
no,
in
now
close?
they're
Two
just
cameras.
cycling.
What's that?
Then she's on two cameras, so she can't look at one. She has to like look in two different places.
Yeah, Bernie.
How hard is it to know 2 red lights?
There's 3 monitors. How can you not look at them?
What are you guys worried about? Like when the camera gets on, you get your posture? Oh, you know what?
What if I have my tit out?
What if she had her tit out? Let's throw this hypothetical. At some point during this podcast, Barbara's gonna drop a tit out, and then
Oh, there it went.
and then we'll see if she's on camera. Or not. Just this is an experiment
Yeah.
for social purposes.
They're very heavy.
But Barbara's tit coming out distracted me completely.
Could that be the title of this podcast?
Barbara's tit coming out.
Barbara's tit comes out.
We need views.
That'll do it.
Podcast number, what was this one?
527.
God, is it really?
Yeah.
Ugh.
I look forward to the comment of the guy who's like, when is it?
Yeah.
Like, time code,
Give me a time
please.
code.
Oh, we drop a fake comment with the time code.
And it's my dick.
Yes. There it is.
Like the classic Mr. Little M. Night Shyamalan.
Let me tell you something. If you got your dick out in the podcast, that would also be that
Yeah.
people would show up for that too. Right? Barbara, you'd show up to see Gus.
Okay, we have two different names. One on the website, it's Gus gets his dick out, and on YouTube, it's Barbara lets a tit out.
Now wait a minute. I know if Gus sent
think it
you
was
via
dross.
text, if he sent you like a picture of his dick, you'd be like, "What the fuck are you doing?" But if you knew there was a video and Gus's junk was in it, out of curiosity, you would check that out, right? I would.
I would.
Are we
and I
not-
live with it.
You wanted to see how it looks on camera?
Yeah, exactly. Get your lighting
It's like,
right.
I only ever see it from this way. You know, what if you see it from another way?
I mean, you have a camera, you can take a selfie.
Have you never looked at yourself in the mirror?
Not like
I normally don't know.
looked at yourself or looked at your body.
You're like,
Either.
you're
I even when I get ready in the morning, like I'm not staring at the mirror. I rarely look at myself in the mirror. I've gotten to work and be like, I've got toothpaste all in my mouth. What the fuck am I doing? Like
You don't look in the
Really?
mirror. Where do you
I
get ready in the kitchen?
I just don't pay attention. I don't look
He's
at
just
it.
like,
He's out in the front yard with a garden hose, brushing his teeth.
I just don't look at it. I don't know. So I mean, maybe sometimes I do, but I don't go out of my way to look at it.
Would you say that you have a negative self-image?
No, I have
Like,
a very
from a-
positive self.
I know, because you say
Yeah.
your name twice. You're obviously very arrogant.
Yeah.
And
to
he
your
gets
credit.
naked all the time.
yeah, like
Yeah.
for
Shows.
fun.
Yeah.
But like you get ready in the morning, like you do your hair.
I think no matter what I do, I already look great.
I know that. Okay.
Like that, it's like, what am I going to do?
So you brush your teeth. You do your hair. I'm assuming that's on purpose.
Yeah.
Your hair.
Yeah.
So you do that.
How does it look?
Damn.
Yeah, I did that. No, I got help today though. It's
This is a
podcasting.
warm and welcoming place. I
So
like it
then
here.
you don't look at yourself when you do your hair.
No, I just like brush it.
Yeah.
Are you looking at the wall? I'm fascinated by
Definitely.
this.
I have a
you gotta-
TV in my bathroom, so normally I'm watching news
Oh,
in
okay.
the morning.
Well, that makes sense.
TV in
Look
your
at you.
bathroom.
Yeah.
TV in your bathroom.
It's like I'm in Vegas.
Is it one of those that's like in the mirror?
The smart mirrors?
No, no, no.
Because then
it's
he'd
like
have to
next
see his
it,
own
yeah.
reflection.
Right.
Oh.
Oh, but then that's a good way to not see your reflection because you're looking at the TV in the mirror.
Maybe, but you'd still like catch like a side glance.
I
at
guess
it.
so. I'm just like a vampire.
I feel
Yeah,
like if
kind of
I-
like a monitor.
I don't
for
actually.
the podcast.
Yeah,
in the
like
corner of
that
your eye.
monitor over
If
there.
I had a TV in my mirror, I'd spend too much time trying to line my face up perfectly with the woman's face,
people?
like on a newscast. Just trying to like imitate her so it looks like I'm wearing her skin.
There you go.
You never
yeah.
do that?
It's part of Barbara's
No.
routine in the morning.
I
Putting
do.
on newscaster skin. This is like part of her every day.
More at 8.
If I'm early for a podcast and they broadcast will throw up, the phantom image so they can help frame correctly. And so there'll be this weird opaque ghost version of yourself. And they're trying to use it for framing. And then I like to sneak in there and try and perfectly match up with the expression and stuff. And then they yell at me because apparently it's actually counterintuitive.
Right.
But it's fun.
Why? You're helping.
I thought so too. I'm like, I'm here. You can frame. They're like, get out. Nicholas was yelling at me like, what was it, last week? Oh,
There were
okay.
so many shots in the early years of Red versus Blue where we would cut from like a character in one scene and then you just cut to them immediately in the next scene. In normal animation, you just line the character up on the same coordinates and everything. But when you're doing it Machinima and Halo, we would have to remember we'd take Post-it notes.
Yeah.
And we put Post-it notes on the screen in corners.
Oh,
and then
really?
you had to like go to the different scenes, which usually meant loading a different map, then get that same character, try to get them in the same position where all their points line up with the Post-it note, but then they wouldn't. Then you realize you had the wrong camera angle because that's a character too. So you'd have to like aim the camera in a certain
Oh
way
my
until
God.
it took some time for
I think
fucking
you posted a photo of that once. We had like 20 Post-its on the screen.
Yep. We tear them and we'd have like little to have
Like
more
tracking
accuracy.
marks.
Yeah, and then we'd stare and look at it.
Why didn't you get some like
Dry erase marker.
or tracing paper?
Oh, we just had we had Post-it
Yeah, we had
notes.
Post-it notes in the office.
Why would we get tracing paper? You tape that to the monitor. Why not just put a Post-it note?
But why not just use a dry
Those are
erase
markers.
marker? It's a monitor.
do what?
And just draw the outline of the person.
We had Post-it notes. This is the story here.
I know. I'm just.
we didn't have this
They had
other
Post-it
stuff.
notes and nothing else.
We're making the fucking show at 2 a.m. We're not gonna stop production to go buy a fucking dry erase marker.
The point of the story was how hard it is to line them up, not like we couldn't afford dry erase markers. I had a funny thing. I was sitting with Evan in a meeting today, and
That is funny.
We were it was fucking hilarious. We were over in the animation department, and we were sitting at the conference room table at the animation department. And if you've never seen it before, you can see it in the vlog I did where I did Ellie's performance review. It was in there. So it's just a massive,
It's huge.
super long conference table.
Yeah.
And I got in there. We had this meeting, and I got in there before anybody else. I don't know why. It was 6 people, but because I think it was me and Matt and Ezra and Ryan Hall, they like put us in this massive room. I guess like maybe it's like
It's
comments on our egos.
I was about to say it's to fit your ego.
Yeah, that must. I felt like that
that
was like some kind of subtle comment on us. A
Actually,
critique.
it's because over in animation, finding meeting rooms, it's like the Hunger Games. Like, it is so hard to book meeting rooms over there.
like
And
that's
it's
this
been
whole
harder
company.
lately too, because now I can't find half the stuff.
Yep.
Well, just so you know, Matt's assistant had her own conference room, and then she booked us into that other one. So she was like,
She doubled
It's
up.
better now.
she was planting the flag. She had a lot of
Double dip.
territory all set up. But I was going to say, the whole point of this was that I was in there, and I was looking at that conference table, and it's weird, the things, Gus, and I don't know if you have the same thing. It's hard. Sometimes it's hard for me to think about this as a company, as other than a company that has like 5 guys jammed in a spare bedroom.
Yeah.
You know, so when I see this massive conference table that has like 30 chairs at it, it's just like, to me, that's a weird touchstone. It's a weird connection to how big the company's gotten, more so than when we get 450 people in a room.
That's the table.
Would that
It is. It's little stuff like that.
that conference table might not have fit in any office until Ralph had the NATO.
Yeah, and then that would have had to gone back in the studio.
Right.
That's the only place that would have.
We wouldn't. That would have been our 4th office before we had enough space to have a
fit the
table that big.
Yeah,
You made it.
man.
and it's the other thing too is little like of how long this has been around and stuff is when I walk around and I see like little pieces of something. We were
I thought you were
using
gonna say little people.
little people.
It's like they're not beneath you, Bernie.
So like the other day we were shooting with
Go right over that.
we were shooting with a red camera, right? It was a huge decision to buy that camera. Do you remember how long?
Oh yeah.
We like fussed and the thought like how much do we want to invest in this? And then
And nobody wanted to touch it when we got it because we were all scared of breaking it.
yep, and we had those light panels, the LED lights, and they were $1,000 for one of those
Mm-hmm.
things. It was like I remember I just agonized over that decision forever and ever and ever. And like the thing that I really always remember is the follow focus, which if you don't know what that is, you basically rotate the ring on a camera to focus it. As you know, the follow focus, all it does is change the rotating motion like this to be a knob that you turn on the side. And that thing was $5,000 for the piece of equipment. And I remember that was like 9 months of discussion of whether or not Barb's tit just came out. Did you see it?
I thought
See, it's back. Sorry,
Yeah.
guys, you missed it. After all that,
You blink and you'll miss it.
she popped it out. But it was 9 months of discussion to see whether or not we were going to spend $5,000 on that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now it's like, if it was a piece of equipment and we needed it, that'd be a much shorter
I think I heard you
discussion.
talking to was it Drew about that the other day about the light panel?
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, we agonized over buying that. He's like, oh yeah, we use those all the time. But you were like, no, it was so expensive. Like Jamie was like, yeah, it's a piece of equipment. We just use it all the time.
Yeah, we just bust it out and use it. Well, it's great that those things have been around now for 10 years. So, and we've shot tons of productions on it.
Well, you
know?
only started needing that stuff when you started doing shorts, right? Which was 2008?
2008. Yeah. Did you do that trend, Barb, of the 2008?
I saw you do it today.
I just did it today.
Oh, did you?
I feel like I'm a little late on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to do it. I don't take selfies.
I thought about just posting an RT short from 2008 and one from 2018.
There's probably a
That's what you
picture
should
of
do.
you.
No, that's what I did. So that's how I know it was 2008 because I literally went back and was looking up shorts, and that's when we started. Because those are the photos I have of myself from back then. Is that?
Yeah.
Selfies were a little different too before you got a front-facing camera.
Yeah.
I'm always concerned because people are very sweet online when you post stuff. And
Yeah, really? I don't know where you're hanging out.
sometimes they're sweet. But I posted them today, and like I'll get this every now and then where people are like, you haven't aged, you look the same. Is that them saying that I look young now, or I looked old
Take it as a compliment.
when
Yeah,
I
take it as
was
a compliment.
18?
Young now.
Take it as a compliment.
Okay.
There,
Well,
like
really-
they pulled it up.
Here we are.
What'll really bake your noodle is
It's
that
me.
they feel it's necessary to tell you that you haven't aged, because that means that, it's a nice compliment to tell Barb, who's now super old, that she doesn't look like she's aged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You never tell a young person that.
Yeah.
I'm older than you when I first met you.
It's like when they tell me, Jeff and Gus, we don't look like we're dying today. It's always a nice
That's a win.
compliment.
Shoot for the stars.
That's why I don't look in the mirror. So I don't need to see that.
It's funny. No, if you want a
people do
photo
that.
to laugh at, I'm sure Brian can bring it up. But I didn't post one of those. But I was thinking about it, and I should have Barb this right before. But Brian's photo, he posted one, and it happened to be back when we were at a holiday party and decided to be Jay and Silent Bob together.
Oh,
And
yeah,
so-
I saw that photo.
Yeah, I look much different back when. The first thing I did when I saw that photo was I looked at it and I was like, damn, I used to be fit. Like,
Well, that was before the kids.
yes. Yeah, see, there we go.
Oh.
There's me as Jay and
Wow.
Brian and Silent Bob.
You got long hair.
Who just like did a spit take in there? I heard that.
I think it was
That
Eric.
was Eric. Great, wonderful. Yeah, I had a lot of hair. There's a lot of that.
Hey, it's a good thing you're on the podcast today, Chad.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
I want to call you out.
Oh,
You did something.
yeah, I know you're gonna talk
That
about.
was
His
the-
tit came out.
That was annoying. You let your dick
There was
out
my
all
dick.
over my desk.
It just happened on
Gone.
screen. Yeah, Dick came out.
You posted a photo in our internal Slack channel earlier, calling someone out for putting the toilet paper roll on wrong in the bathroom.
Yeah,
they didn't do it over, they did it under. And you're like, look, we work with a monster. Later in the day, I went to that bathroom and it was still the same way. You took a photo of it calling someone out, and then you didn't fucking fix it.
What do you mean fix it? First of all, that's perfectly fine.
That's the way you get it fixed. You call the person out, and then they fix it.
But it wasn't me. I saw it. Like, if I would taken the photo, I would have been like, I would have posted it and been like, all right, now I got to put it the right way because I'm calling someone out.
I don't know if maybe in my mind I was like, if I call them out, then we can catch them. Like seeing like they're gonna go in and fix their shame.
Catch him? What are you, like a cop?
There is one way that you should put the toilet paper roll on.
We think we've identified the perp.
Yeah, I just want to know who it is.
We got teams working in shifts.
Yeah.
More like shits.
Nice. Nice part.
There you go. It's gonna be a real gas.
Yep.
Couch is on fire
You
today,
can
man.
stay.
Yeah, I know it's because all the puns. And
Hey,
stuff.
was the camera on Chad when he made that joke? Was it?
Is it
Good.
okay? Need to make sure. Need to constantly have a stare down. I'm not doing
He
this
is
again.
the famous Chad
No,
Shane.
don't you fuck. Ah!
Sorry, I don't want to interrupt with that.
Yep,
Go ahead.
That's okay. Anyway, I don't know. I thought that maybe
didn't think.
I didn't think. I took the picture and I was too busy calling someone out for being a monster, and then I was like, maybe they'll
Then
come back.
you became a monster
and then I
yourself
became.
in the process.
It's one of those things where it's like if
I
you're
don't
a bystander, you know, like you can take somebody to stand up and do something, and I
Yeah.
didn't. I just let it happen, and I feel bad.
There's something else that I want to call people out for.
You're like the kind of person
Oh.
who sees a fight and
Well,
takes
let's-
a picture of it.
Let's ask people
Who takes a fight? What is
if they think toilet
Sees
paper
a
should
fight
go
happening
over
and
or
just
under.
Films it.
There was a thing, and
Let's do a poll.
I saw a thing on
Is there a
Reddit.
I'm looking for a poll.
What are you looking for? What's the poll?
A poll.
Over versus under?
Yeah.
This is, to me, the big debate in the bathroom is stand up or sit down. But yeah, over under, it doesn't
I
make
think-
any difference to me at all. I don't even notice.
Under is okay only for people who have cats.
Yes, because otherwise
That's
they'll.
true.
Otherwise
That is
they
the whole
will-
thing.
Yes, and I agree. I have cats in my house.
But that said, I think it was a Reddit thread, and of course this could be photoshopped, but somebody had like looked up the original patent for toilet paper on the
Right.
holder, and it showed it going over. So it's like, there you go, end of debate.
The
Not
discussion
There is
is
no
over.
debate.
There's
It's
no debate.
over.
It's over. It should be over.
What do you mean? Who cares?
Oh,
cares?
look, there's monsters. Why?
I have to admit something. I used to be an under.
Really?
Yeah. I
Why?
think it's because my family is an under. And so I just did the toilet paper like they would do. And then I moved out on my own and started doing it the other way, and I realized it was so much better.
It's
way easier.
Literally never think about this. It bothers me, which has happened in our office before,
It's a massacre, by the way.
is you go into the restroom and you got that situation where there's the cardboard tube from the old tube, and then someone just taking a roll of toilet paper and just put it on top
hate
of
Oh my
it.
God.
It's like, how much effort does it take? You're already sitting there. How much effort does it take to just replace it?
It was probably harder to get the toilet paper off without putting it on the fucking dispenser.
You gotta balance it. Yeah.
Okay, my wife does this. And like she does a million things around the house, so I'm gonna throw that out there because if she's watching, I'll die. And so I'm throwing that out ahead of time. But
Still your
she
favorite
must,
butt.
She
Still your favorite
must,
butt.
yes, absolutely. She must think that it magically puts itself on because I don't think she's ever put a toilet paper roll on. Like I've come into it on top of the toilet, on top of the holder, on the floor. Like one time, I guess maybe she went halfway and it had fallen off, so then it was just on one of the pegs that's supposed to hold the horizontal part.
Wow.
It's just like,
You're in trouble, man.
well, no, she's amazing.
You're
She
in
does like a
trouble.
million things around the house. Shut up.
If I were her, I'd be really mad at you.
Didn't you, Barbara, didn't you post something about a magnetic one just recently?
I have at my place I have probably the best toilet paper roll holders.
You got it?
Yeah.
You got it.
Good.
Like in the world,
Rollers.
because it's just this like metal bar that you lift up, it detaches, lift up, take it off, put it back on.
Oh,
That's
You
it.
don't
that's
have-
really convenient.
You don't have to take
Is that
anything
that little
off.
spring-loaded gizmo that they've
Nope,
got in the
none
middle?
of that bullshit.
Why do we still have that shit?
I don't know. That's not good.
It's seriously, this needs to be everywhere. It's so innovative.
So it's just like a little vertically comes up.
Yep.
So then, and then
you
it
pop
goes
up?
down back into a groove. That
Yep,
makes perfect
like a
sense.
slot.
Let's
you
let's
can-
end this poll.
it's
By
on a
the way,
hinge.
it's a massacre. We've never done a poll that's
Who the
this
fuck
lopsided.
cares? Who cares?
I
do.
care.
Wrong with you people?
I mean, anyway, I'm still back on like.
What's the over under
you-
on that poll?
Do you load the?
Choice 1 and 2.
Wonderful.
It was late. It's coming in late. Sorry.
Okay.
That's perfect. Right?
I'm just now picturing her loading the toilet paper roll like the magazine of a gun. Like, is that what happens? Like, you just slam it in from the bottom and you're good to go?
No, it's like a thing that comes up. You take
Mm-hmm.
it off the top, put it back on, and then
Right.
You
But what
just
I'm saying is, if
rotate
you
it
let it go
vertically.
back down without it, could you just like
No, 'cause I think
slam up in your roll like
no,
a
it like
magazine?
Yeah.
it like
It rests.
slides, like rests on something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but that is funny.
I just think it would be great. You're just we're out. I'm ready to go.
I just I
Right
learned
up the
recently that all those wipes
Talk
are
about a poop shoot.
they're
bro.
not flushable.
Right.
Even though
they say flushable.
even though they say flushable, None of those wet wipes are flushable. No.
Blaine told me about some that disintegrate in the toilet.
They disintegrate in the toilet.
Like they are actually flushable.
It's my least favorite topic of conversation.
If it
I don't know how we're in the
You're
middle.
the one who
If it disintegrates in the,
I don't think
No,
I
it's
did.
Gus.
Gus brought it up. And I got
did.
involved.
I got brought it up because I brought up him. I shamed him for not fixing the toilet paper.
But you did also just make me have a realization, and I can't believe that I've never done this before. But every time I have encountered toilet paper on the wrong way, even when I've fixed it, I didn't do that beforehand. I used the toilet paper, thought about the inconvenience, and then fixed it. And I just realized that right now, all this time. I could have fixed it first, and then I never did.
Well, this way you could be passive aggressive about it.
You took one for the team.
I just made it harder on myself. I just went with it.
Also, when we go to like Southern Hemisphere, and we travel and stuff, there's always somebody in the group who says like, oh, and it's amazing because the toilet flushes the other way. How the fuck do you know which way your toilet flushes? I don't, like you sitting there just staring at it like clapping? I don't know, I don't get it. It's
Also,
like,
I feel like they don't go around anymore. They go like straight down now.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, and it could go backwards and go sideways. I wouldn't fucking
As long as
notice
it's not
the
coming back
difference.
out,
Yeah,
I'm fine.
exactly. As long as it's going down.
Speaking of them going straight down, you want to hear a fun story about how Sean lost his keys? Screw time.
Let's guess this one. Did he flush them down the toilet?
Oh, he did, but it's impressive. So,
How many different ways?
He
Oh,
ate
no,
them and then
and
shat
here's-
them out.
No. All right, touche. So here's the deal. He was
he
wearing
parked
these.
his car in the toilet.
Yeah, it was,
Fine.
it was wild. So he's wearing these dress pants, and the toilets at our previous office before we moved down from Dallas were like, it was like a shotgun blast. Like you hit that thing and it was everything
Like an
gone
airplane
instantly.
toilet?
Yes, like
Which is
that.
great.
Yeah.
Every toilet should work that way.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Because then you never have to wait and worry, and yeah, it's great.
Wait and worry.
Yeah, because if it. You haven't done the wait and worry where you're like, oh shit, it better flush. If not, I gotta go find a plunger, especially at work. Like that's awkward.
You flush, wait, and worry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I
if
love
the water starts coming up, it's
If the water comes up, you got a problem.
Yeah,
Right.
real problem.
So anyway, he
Especially if you're at
goes.
somebody else's house.
He flushes. So he stands up, flushes, and then goes to pull up his pants, and his keys fall out. And when I say keys, I'm not like, oh, one or two keys. His entire key ring
Oh my God.
falls right as it flushes, and then just gone. So I'm working at my desk, and he comes walking out with the most bewildered look on his face, and he's just standing there. And then he just looks at me. I'm like, what's up? And he's like, I just flushed my keys down the toilet. And I'm like a key? He's like, no, like the whole ring. And now I've got to call my wife to get the spare key
Oh my God.
That's some serious flush power. If I took a fucking key ring,
with his fob and everything. Gone instantly. He's like, he's
Car
like,
key, house key,
Everything.
building key, etc.
It was all gone.
Fuck.
straight down.
wow.
Yeah.
That's an
like-
impressive. I want to shit on that toilet.
I can't tell you how many times I've almost dropped my cell phone into a toilet.
Oh, it's
because,
I've done that.
Because, like, I mean, where do you guys keep your cell
so
phones?
fast, like it's like you're picking up a snake, you just like that. It's like you never move so fast in your life or react like that. I also feel like I've developed a skill. I think we as a species have developed a skill that we didn't have before, and it's because of cell phones. If I drop something, there's like an 80% chance I can catch it on my foot now.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I just didn't have that growing up because I didn't have something that if I dropped it, it was mission critical that I not let it
Not
hit the
even
ground.
one of your sons?
What do I kick my son? I'm relatively like David Beckham and bop him around. No, but like if I ever dropped a glass or something, I wouldn't try to catch that with my foot. But now I instinctively try to catch stuff with my feet.
Here,
Don't you do the
But
same?
have you ever had it backfire?
Just not knives.
No, knives is the opposite. Knives, I drop a knife and I do this like dance where I'm like flipping my feet backwards.
Yeah.
Have you ever had the foot catch backfire?
Yo, and I kick it across the room?
Yeah, like it works great, and like when you do it, you feel like a complete badass. But then there's that awkward time where you're just like, "Oops," and you literally just punt whatever you're trying to save straight into the wall.
And, like, it's probably the best kick of your life.
Oh,
too,
yeah,
in
it
that
always is.
moment.
Oh, did you see that ESPN clip? Speaking of kicking, where on one of their shows they went through Twitter and they found people who berated college football kickers who missed field goals.
Said they could have made the kick.
They said they could have made the kick,
Yeah.
and they invited them out.
Oh, shit.
Oh, that's
to,
amazing.
to like a football training field. They're like, all right, you said anybody could have made that 31-yard field goal. Here's a 31-yard field goal. Make it.
Did anyone make it?
And-
No, no one came
Not a
close.
single person, of course. You should have had them drop their cell phone and try to catch it with their foot and then put the ball there.
And it
I
would've
could have
gone
made it
right in.
probably.
But there was one where one guy tweeted like, anybody could have made that field goal. And then they asked him like, how long was that field goal? Do you remember? He goes, I don't know, maybe 30 yards. And the woman goes, it was 53 yards. It's a 53-yard field goal. Like, no, I mean, get serious. Like that's a 53-yard field goal in the pros. That's like, oh, that's really far.
I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like the measurement of a field goal is very inconsistent because sometimes they include the end zone.
They always include the end zone.
Now they do, but they don't. We're watching clips of these dopes trying to make this kick, and none of them are even getting close. Of course, I guess it was.
Look at this guy.
It's out in the snow,
If you watch it, most of them don't even kick it over the fence.
No, jeez, and that's fucking terrible.
Well,
dude.
I mean, it's the snow. Yeah, like that's really.
well, they could have been playing in the
extra
snow
handicap.
if it's the Eagles.
Yeah.
I don't know if they were. Does the Eagles have a dome?
No.
They won the Super Bowl. Get a dome. What the fuck's wrong with you guys?
No, because then they won't have snowballs to put batteries in to throw at the players.
Right, right. They did that to the Cowboys.
Yikes.
But I was thinking when Chad was telling the story, that's actually not the craziest dropping key stories we've ever heard.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Back in the day,
Yeah.
we worked with a guy named Skylock. What was Skylock's name? I can't even.
I don't remember.
I don't remember either. Skylock.
Scott?
It was back in the era of the internet when everyone had
Handles.
a handle or a moniker, and except for Gus. Gus was always Gus. And
Brandon.
with a big S.
he had this story where, and he told it he was a writer for Drunk Gamers, where he came home from the bar, I guess, and he had a little bit to drink, and he always saw it, and he knew it was going to cause a problem for him at some point. But he had a sewer grate right outside of his door,
Ugh.
so he was sitting there trying to put his keys in the door. And he dropped it, and it fell into the sewer grate. But it's not like a full sewer. It was just like a drainage thing with the cover. So he could see the keys about that far below the grate. And so he reached down in there to get the keys and was able to touch the keys and then pull it out and tore off his pinky.
Oh, I didn't
I
expect
think-
that.
I know. It was like...
I think it was only the last knuckle.
But it
of the
doesn't matter.
pinky.
It was like, he showed pictures of it. He's missing part of his finger, like half of his pinky because...
Was it stuck down in the grate?
I don't know.
Like I thought
Sean flushed it.
I thought it was gonna go like a fun direction where you're like, and then when he did that, his cell phone fell out of his pocket and into the grate. But there's like, no, lost a finger.
His finger fell off.
Yeah. He
God.
lost his fucking pinky in that.
How hard? Was
But he
just
got
so
his keys.
That's true.
He did get his keys.
Was he
And then
just-
he drove promptly to the emergency room.
Was he just so excited that he got him that he just yanked full
He
force?
probably, what I'm guessing is that he probably got a tiny little grip on them and then whipped his hand out to get them really
It's
fast.
the equivalent
Yeah.
of like trying to kick and save something.
Yeah.
He hit it into the
He
wall.
essentially yanked his pinky off, is what he did.
So you can do that.
You can
I-
do
That's
that.
the thing you can do, by the way.
I heard that you essentially could bite off one of your own fingers if you just bite with the force of a baby carrot.
Yeah. It wouldn't take
Really?
much to
It
bite.
doesn't take much of
through
a.
it.
Eric, get out here.
But you can't. Like,
Anybody have some hummus?
have you ever had to give yourself a blood test, test blood sugar or anything? My mom had
Not myself.
diabetes, so she always had to test.
Yeah.
And I would try to test my blood sugar. It was so fucking hard for me to poke a hole in my finger. I physically couldn't make myself hurt myself. I couldn't do it. And I think there's something to that too. You can't do it because you can't make yourself bite through your own finger.
Prove it.
I smell an RT Life.
What?
I smell an RT Life.
Yeah, go for it, Gus.
Can you bite off your own finger?
Yeah,
is
you
it
go
easier to
first.
bite off your own finger or somebody else's?
Yeah, let's find out. Eric, get out here. I want to read this thing here. Remind everyone, this episode of the Rooster Teeth Podcast is brought to you by...
We're nicer people than we used to be too, because I remember even immediately after Skylock ripped his finger off, we just started making fun of him.
We did.
It was a horrible accident.
no.
And then we were immediately oh my God, you fucking idiot. You tore your finger off.
He's like, yo, bro, can I get your digits?
No, I think what happened was he turned in a story that was top 10 PlayStation games of the year, and we made him change it to top 9.5 because he can't count to 10 anymore. So we immediately just jumped on
He
it.
can't count to 10 anymore. So
God, we should be-
if you lose one, you can't count that high anymore.
Yeah.
No,
All your things have to be multiples of 9.
9.5.
that's it. Or maybe that was it. We wouldn't let him do reviews higher than 9.5 or something like that.
Oh my god.
Jeff is thinking of it too. For some reason, none of us can recall it.
What?
Skylock's name.
I thought
I'll figure it out.
Scott?
I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Skylar.
It's 20 years
Luck.
ago at this point.
Just a long time.
It's a long time.
Skylo.
So
Shiloh.
we were talking about Slack. I wanted to call out something else that's been bothering me.
What?
I feel like I don't know if I'm slacking other people for the first time or I'm learning how people communicate. I'm very much a stickler for the way I communicate. And I've noticed there's some people now who are in a channel with lots of other people. And let's say all of us are in the same channel. All 4 of us here. And I want to talk to Barbara. Instead of messaging Barbara directly, I'll message the channel
And
at
me?
Barbara.
Yeah.
And that drives me fucking crazy.
Yeah.
You guys don't need to see the conversation. I don't need to see the conversation if it doesn't involve me. And I'm just like, getting these alerts. I'm like, oh, something important. No, it's not.
I could only see doing that if it is something important for the group to know about. Yeah. Like we have an Always Open channel, so like sometimes I'll at somebody from the Always Open crew to be like, hey, do we have that thing ready to go or planned out?
I can see that.
Because it's like their responsibility, but it's still important for the group.
For me,
just being like, hey, where are you today, or something. I don't know.
For me, it's when like I'm in a group discussion and then people start having side discussions while also in the group discussion, and it just starts getting so convoluted.
Yeah. It's
but it's crazy too. It's like it's this now revolutionary chat client, which there's one of those every few years, but there's not even polls. Like we did something the other day where we were voting on something. We just used 1 or 2 or 3 emojis
as the reaction.
To vote. Yeah,
I didn't want to say anything. There is polling, and we do have it enabled.
So what was that? What was that whole thing?
Well, the person who made the poll clearly did not know that we had polling available.
Whoever could have
emoji thing
done that.
There are polls. Where are the polls?
I gotta say too. We got called out on Reddit in general.
I think it's /poll, and then
last week somebody compiled a list of all the times we've complained about Apple.
Polls.
He's like, where's polling? I'm like, I'm pretty sure it's /poll. Oh yeah.
Can you make a poll?
Yeah, apparently we are all shithead idiots. We're all after a fashion brand.
Yeah,
we're morons who deserve to lose our money because we're stupid. It's like that was such a negative fucking.
You guys weren't supposed to see my
discussion.
Post.
What that we were having, or that they
had
having?
About us?
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's like I don't think people understand, and this is me one of the hopefully the rare times that I do this. The reason I don't switch to Android is that I hate it. Android is clunky and awful. And I have switched to it a couple different times. I had a Pixel 2 that YouTube or Google sent to me. So I was like, all right, this is it. I'm going to switch. I'm going to try it. To me, it's just, honestly, it's clunky garbage. But we don't ever make fun of stuff that we don't use. We try not to do that at least. You know what I mean? It's like,
I don't
we
think
don't sit there and bash on other people. Because there's people, when I said that'll have a very visceral reaction to me saying the thing that they use I consider to be clunky and garbagey.
I have a Pixel 2, and I love it.
There you go. And you should use it, and you should be happy with it. But we only ever bitch about the stuff that we do or we use.
But I'm sure you didn't like the fact that he said Android sucks.
I did not like the fact
You didn't like it, right? So it's like,
no.
So that's it. So like, why don't they just switch to Android? It's like, yeah, we bitch about Apple a lot, but obviously we prefer to be on Apple. I tell you why I prefer to use an iPhone to this day over Android is that I travel a lot. And Android doesn't have a native data-based messaging app. That's it.
They're going to tell you, use WhatsApp.
They're going to tell me, use WhatsApp, but I can download WhatsApp on my iPhone as well. It's like, it's so convenient to be able to have iMessage, and I'm on a plane, and I can message everybody I've got because I got a Wi-Fi signal. I'm not going to get a cell signal until I land. I would ask, why the fuck don't Android phones have a data-based text native yet?
I think even Android users would probably concede that that's the weakest point that they have, and that something needs to be done about that.
I get when you don't want to copy something that somebody else is doing, but when it's clearly working and it's great. Like I always talk about this with Xbox and the platinum trophies that are on the PlayStation. Platinum trophies is a great concept. It's out there long enough. Just suck it up and make like 100% achievement for every game. Just do it. Just do it. It's like you're just leaving something on the table. Yeah, you didn't think of it, but no one's gonna, sue you to death over that. And then there was something, I forget what it was, on PlayStation they should just steal from Xbox.
Just look at Instagram, who stole stories from Snapchat.
Yeah,
and
man.
Snapchat, as far as I know, ain't doing so hot right now because everything, Instagram.
You'll catch shit about that too.
I know I'll probably catch shit because I'm not like a 13-year-old person who's like the demographic for that app.
They're on TikTok.
But
do we have a TikTok yet?
I don't think we do.
Can I have a peppermint?
I asked for one last week.
I can't have a peppermint. All right, fuck off. There's another thing that bugs me is that TikTok's been around for a while, and I go on there. All variations of my name and Rooster Teeth are taken. Why would you want to make a Rooster Teeth account and have that be on TikTok? Like as a person,
because then they're gonna sell it to us.
It's like parking websites back in the day, and then somebody gets big enough and it becomes valuable.
Or
the problem is
they're just a fan and they just want us to contact them about getting the username.
We know somebody who did that. Who parked or didn't park a domain? They just bought a domain, and they bought it. I want to say for like $3,000, and then sold the domain for $140,000. And it wasn't anybody's name or anything like that. It was just a really good name. It'd be like if they had football.com. It was the equivalent of that. won't say what it was because I don't want to out the person or anything like that.
Baseball.com.
Something like that. It was just like,
generic,
or rockclimbing.com or something like that. It was like an activity. Bouldering.com. It was about that level. It was about that level of a website.
It was Bernie.com, wasn't it?
No. I got that totally because I just waited for it to expire. And I got it. I literally watched that so long for like a long period of time. I watched it. I had another weird thing like that just came up.
I have to ask really quick. Do you actually own Bernie.com?
I own Bernie.com.
I pulled that out of my ass. I just wanted to know that. I had no idea.
Did you ever hear or see the RTAA about the statue where we made the bobblehead of a statue of me? Did you ever see that stuff?
It's right over there.
That's based on the Bernie.com story.
Gotcha. Okay.
How they would resurrect.
I won't repeat it here, but it's like there's a city in Australia that's spelled the exact same way as my name. And so they wanted the website, and they actually contacted me because I had nothing up on it. I was just using it for email. So
do you just
I made
have
ridiculous demands.
Will Ferrell with the cowbell on
I think I still do.
Yep, there it is.
I would actually like to build that out. Oh, well, so if anybody's a good web designer that wants to work with me, I'm looking for a web designer to do something with Bernie.com.
I'll do it.
Will you?
Yeah.
Dude, I would love to have a site. Would you really?
I'll develop your site.
Okay. Never mind. I retract the offer. I fully retract.
Yeah, Bernie.com's great now, but it's nothing like the majesty of Sorolla.com.
Or showmethemonkey.com, which was a Gus website that I used to hack.
What?
Is that yours?
Forbidden?
Forbidden. That's perfect for you. That's perfect.
Yep, that's the one.
Yeah.
So I actually have another problem. While we're talking about things we like that really see this, we're going to complain about stuff that we do on a daily basis, but that's the stuff we like. And if you haven't figured this out after 10 years, this is the kind of shit we talk about on the podcast.
This is where you get to vent.
We bitch about shit that bothers us,
and you guys get to share that.
And it's minutia. And the moment we talk about anything of consequence, like politics and immigration,
I come here to get away from that.
Go back to yelling about the size of the controller nubs.
Did you see
the toilets?
The security wait line at the Atlanta airport this morning?
Dude, I have to travel this weekend. Is it going to be bad?
It's
gonna be real bad.
I will say again. I got corrected, by the way. I know nobody ever hears the retraction after somebody makes a mistake. I retweeted on Twitter. Somebody corrected me and told me that TSA employees, he was a TSA employee, according to him, that they are government agents and they are part of the Department of Homeland Security. I thought they were contracted, but apparently I'm wrong.
Yeah,
maybe
I thought so too.
I got that mixed up with airports where they do contract it to private people. Here's the problem I'm having. I've been going through and giving my oldest son, JD, a film education, like stuff that he missed, just because, I assumed he's watched The Matrix, and why hasn't, of course he's watched Pulp Fiction. No, why would he? Because those movies were out before he was born.
Right.
And so we've been going through and watching stuff. Ironically, the movie that we both enjoyed the most, which held up remarkably well, even in HD or 4K, was Flash Gordon from 1980.
Really?
That movie actually holds up fairly well. It was pretty campy at the time, but if you haven't seen Flash Gordon, go check it out. But here's something that happened.
Was it a good flashback for you?
Was it?
Was it a good flashback?
It was a good flashback. It was. The Barbara's so happy.
Finally, another.
That's the couch today. I get most of my movies on Microsoft, so I can watch them on PC or I can watch them on Xbox. I found that's the easiest way to have movies. I don't use iTunes for that. I would use iTunes for music. And now they've got it to where you can just pay a little bit more and it kind of frees it up so you can put it on any service. And now there's a really cool thing. I've actually gone back to buying physical media because they all come with a code now to get the digital version. And Gavin pointed out to me that the discs actually have lower compression. So that's actually a better picture. So I've been doing that. But that being said, most of my digital library exists on Microsoft. I found the weirdest fucking problem this week on Xbox and Microsoft for movies. They were having a UHD sale, so ultra high def, like 4K and HDR stuff. They were having a sale on that. I was like, oh shit. And some of these movies were like, The Matrix was like $8 for the UHD version of The Matrix. I'm like, fuck yeah, I'll do that. That's crazy. So I got that, and I got the other two Matrix movies. That's one of the movies he had to watch was The Matrix.
And then suffer through the other two.
No,
I really want to give him another shot. I think that we have understood those movies when they came out. I want to try them again.
On a narrative basis, I think you're right, but the visual fidelity doesn't hold up. Like they need to remake that Burly Brawl where Neo fights all those Agent Smiths in Matrix 2. dude, they just got to make that again. You go watch it now. It's like, this is a bad video game. That's the graphics for it. And that was a crazy movie too, because when Matt was working in Hollywood in visual effects, there was a whole summer where they couldn't hire anybody because everybody who was working in visual effects was working on the new Matrix movies.
Oh, wow.
Like they consumed so much of the resources in the visual effects industry. Anyway, the problem I'm having was there were some movies that I was buying on UHD. It was great. Then I went to go buy Live, Die, Repeat, Edge of Tomorrow, the Tom Cruise movie. Went to go buy it on UHD because that was like $6 or something. I'm like, fuck yeah, this movie's great. I was buying it on UHD. $6 to do it. I'll do it again. Because I had bought it in HD before, I couldn't buy it again.
Right.
And I couldn't delete it. I couldn't even, at first I thought maybe I'll be able to upgrade from HD to UHD for a lower price. Couldn't do that. Not only that, I can't even just buy the movie again. I cannot, and I thought, I just don't know how to do this. I can't figure this out. I went to my PC, tried to do it in the Microsoft store there, couldn't do it there. So then I went to the forums and looked it up. How do I upgrade from HD to UHD on Microsoft store? Billion threads show up. And it's all these people like furious of like, you just can't do it.
You can't like delete it from your library or
No, and most of those people were talking about they had bought the SD version of the movie by accident and they couldn't upgrade to HD. And like there were all these workarounds like go on Voodoo, VUDU.
Voodoo,
Buy it there, and then they'll give you a code where you can link it through Movies Anywhere to your Microsoft library, and you can have it then.
Could you not like contact customer support or something?
I'm never going to do that. I can't tell you how life-threatening a problem would have to be before I pick up a phone and call customer service.
I had this problem with a Microsoft product. I think it was like my Office subscription or something, where I kept getting emails that my Office subscription was about to end and my credit card was expired, so I needed to update it. So I was like, oh, great, here we go. It's like I go into the Microsoft website and like, okay, I see the bad credit card. I need to put a new credit card in. Put the new credit card in, be like, okay, I need to move my Office subscription from the expired credit card to the new one. And I'll hit move and be like, you cannot unlink that credit card because it's used for an active subscription.
Right.
It's like, right, I understand that, but you're telling me that it's an expired credit card. It's no good, and then my subscription's about to end. I need to move it. Nope. It's like, and you just wouldn't let me do it. I couldn't delete it. And I lost Office. I don't have Office anymore now because I can't fucking put a new credit card on there to pay for it. Right. I can't buy it. I have it installed on my computer, but I can't open it. Thanks, Microsoft. That's great. It's a fucking awesome system we've got here.
It's okay. I haven't been able to Uber since RTX London last year.
Why?
Because my credit card expired and I didn't realize it. And then I took a trip and it tried to bill it and it couldn't. And so it was like, you need to update your credit card. I'm like, okay, cool. And then it won't let me update my credit card on the app for some reason.
Is there a way to add a credit card?
Yeah, I tried to add it, and then like it wasn't letting me do it. And so then I was like, okay, well maybe I just need to be at like a computer. And so then I logged into the computer, and I can't remember the error it gives me. I mean, I can pull it out and try and screw it.
I was gonna say like, give me your app. Let's see what I could do.
I'm gonna be so mad if it's like fixed because I've been trying to do this forever, and so I've exclusively been using Lyft because like. I'm sure I have some like delinquent charge where I owed somebody like $5 and I'm just.
Now you have like a 2-star rating on Uber.
You're an Uber deadbeat.
Yeah, I tried to do it and it just would not work. So let's see. Payment.
You guys talk.
Add payment method.
So
if anybody knows how to fix this problem and how to get an HD movie to UHD or even SD to HD, I'm curious if anyone can find it because I looked for a good long while and could not find a solution to this problem.
I just also love that you're like, I have a problem and it's very serious and you could probably just contact customer support and they'll fix it for you. You're like, I'm never going to do it, but I have a problem.
No, listen, I worked in customer service for a long time. And it's like, as soon as I hear hold music, I just like...
I can't.
Yeah, you're the same way?
Honestly, yeah, it's awful.
Yeah, we came from that world, so it's like,
it took me years before I could call and order food on the phone. I'm glad you can do it all online now.
I will use live chat. Do you use like live chat for support?
I will try that,
Sometimes I'll do that.
Yeah.
Maybe you just have to wait.
I also, though, I know I'm way different than every other support customer in live chat because I give them so much fucking information about the problem, as opposed to like, hey, this doesn't work.
Oh,
right.
And
these are the steps I've taken so far.
Oh no, and then they have to go through. That's okay. Going through like Verizon or one of those like customer support things is one of the most infuriating things because like I'm pretty tech savvy, and so like, it's like it's the best thing in the world when you get a tech guy who understands that you know what you're talking about,
right?
And you cut out like 30 minutes. But then there's the one who's just like, okay, sir, listen, before you go down this list, like I know you got a whole checklist. I want you to know that like I have unplugged it, I have factory reset it, I've checked everything. It's not working. Okay, sir, so for the first thing we're gonna have you do is unplug the router, and I'm like, oh, son of a bitch. Like, I'm going to be here.
I will say, I thought the same way. I think the same way a lot of times, but I recently had a problem with my cable service where my television wasn't working, and it just seemed like the box was dead. Like I wasn't getting a signal, nothing was happening. So I called customer service. I rebooted it, gone through, basic troubleshooting. I called customer service, and it was the same thing that Chad was talking about. Where they're like, okay, let's reboot it. Try holding down this button, hold down that button, and like, oh, it popped back to life. I was like, oh, they actually, went through going through the process and going through the steps actually helped. It seems like you're doing a lot of nothing, but sometimes it actually does something. Peter Hayes is going crazy because you keep kicking the mic arm, Chad.
Am I?
He's going to fly here and hit you.
I'm so sorry.
Personally.
Wow.
Kicking the mic arm.
Listen, this is a threat from an Irishman. So
No, I love Peter Hayes, and also that's awful. I don't want to do that to you guys. Here, I'll just encroach on your mic space. Let's do that.
That's fine.
There you go.
He's not going to stop raising his leg, but he's still just move the arm.
No, I like to do that. I like to cross
Peter.
my leg on a podcast.
Oh, God.
Oh, that's awful.
I can hear it. That sounds so bad.
Love you.
If you're in audio, if you're listening to the audio podcast, that was Barbara's test.
That were my tits, yeah.
Banging
Just
on the mic.
shimmying.
I had someone tweeted me something yesterday that I didn't think it existed anymore. I've told this story before, and we have an RTAA.
Nobody tweeted you. You're lying.
We have an RTAA made about it, where like the first date Esther and I ever went on, we went to a Starbucks, and I had told her before we went that because of the work that I do, sometimes I get recognized in public, and it was bound to happen eventually. And we walked into that Starbucks, and the barista
was that like a move?
He recognized.
Were you telling
no,
her
it was like I was just preparing her, like, because it's a weird thing to encounter with someone. I was just letting her know that it's probably going to happen, and it did happen at that Starbucks. And the barista who recognized me tweeted me. He still has the thing that I signed from there. He tweeted me yesterday a photo of it. Or I guess his girlfriend or tweeted me a photo of it, and they still have it. I was like, that's a really weird thing to still have and to have sent to me, because I've talked about it on the podcast, and we have an RTAA about it.
I mean, if you had a picture with a celebrity that you liked, wouldn't you keep it?
Yeah, but it was like like one of the things you put a pastry in at Starbucks. It was like one of those things. It was like basically it was like a piece of trash that
you signed.
It was a piece of trash celebrity, quote unquote, who signed a piece of trash.
Yeah.
And I was shocked to see it, and that they still had it. I was like,
I'm
that's
actually happy
cool.
to hear that, because I'm always convinced that people just like go. They go through the whole process of getting something signed, and they just go, and they throw it away. I mean, I see it like on every now and then someone will tweet at me, "Hey, look what I found," and they have at a DVD store. Somebody turned back in a red versus blue DVD that was signed by like 4 or 5 people. And I'm like,
awesome.
I'm like, why'd you go through the trouble of getting it signed if you could turn for like $1?
Could also have been stolen, and someone sold the stolen disc.
Yeah, there's a positive
that's a
outlook.
bummer.
Yeah,
There you go.
that's
worse.
That's what I think.
So
probably happens. That's what I assume, because no one would throw something away from me.
Yeah, exactly.
So Barb fixed my problem.
Did she? Why did she shut it off? And
Here's the best part. So like I showed her, and she's like, "Oh yeah, it's not working." Then she goes, "I'm so mad at myself right now." She goes, "Have you tried logging out and then logging back in?" And I was like, fuck, I don't think I have. And it's like, I was just like, I'm pretty tech savvy. I know how to fix things. And I'm like, log out. And when I log back in, all the user interface is completely different. And I'm like, oh, son of a bitch. And sure enough, I can put in my payment. So now I can
That's essentially turning it off and back on again.
It essentially is. Yeah. And that happened live.
that's why they got to walk you through that stuff. Chad, we had a nightmare when we were doing it, because back in the long time ago, we had to do tech support for people on dial-up internet. So you would give these people a list of things to do, and then you hang up, and then they got to go do it, and then they call you back to tell you whether or not it worked.
And then one time, the worst call ever, I didn't have to take this, and I was like a higher level rep, so I got to deal with some of the more difficult ones. And we had to do a callback because one of our entry level reps had deleted a woman's win.ini file on her Windows 3.1 machine. And one of us had to call her back and walk her through rebuilding her win.ini file in DOS.
Oh, God.
And I played paper, rock, scissors with the other tech, and I won.
Did you just say paper, rock, scissors?
Rock, paper, scissors, sorry. With the
other
tech.
Juan. That was like the hardest Juan.
And I won.
I won.
And so he had to call this woman back from Oklahoma and walk her through recreating a win.ini file in DOS. He was on the phone 5 hours that day, I think, with her, just going through that one problem.
Which sucks for her as a customer, too.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's the longest you guys have spent on customer service?
Oh, me personally? You mean as a customer?
Yeah.
Buff. I don't know.
I think 2 hours for me.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I think the longest I was on hold was like an hour and 10 minutes.
I've done that. That's the worst.
Yeah.
Especially when it's a problem you actually need help with.
And when you get disconnected, when the call gets disconnected. I have instituted a policy. As soon as I get through the menu bullshit, I'm like, all right, hey, just a heads up, I'm going to give you a callback number in case we get disconnected. That has saved my ass so much because, there's nothing more infuriating.
Well, you gotta hope they call you back, though.
You do. And that's true. One time they didn't, but most of the times they will. But like, I had to do the whole thing. It was all through the steps again and all the bullshit. And then I'm like, listen, I got disconnected. And they're like, okay, sir, so have you unplugged it? And I was like, oh, son of a bitch, here we go again. But then apparently I can't fix Uber.
Apparently that probably worked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now you can take Uber again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's some places, I know American Airlines does this. I'm not sure. I'm sure other places do it, but when you call and there's a wait on their customer service line, they're like, leave your number and like we'll call you back when there's someone available.
Yes.
We're guessing it's going to be 30 to 40 minutes or whatever it is. And they just call you back when there's someone available. So you don't have to sit there on the phone.
I wish all customer service lines did that.
I feel like it's going to become more common.
Yeah.
Or just all go online. Just text. Like people are using Twitter DMs now for support. Love that.
Yeah.
That's great.
American Airlines has helped me multiple times
Xbox.
through Twiper DMs.
Yep.
You know what? I will
you
DM with Xbox and say, how the hell
slide
do I
into those DMs?
I don't have an I have HD and I want to go to UHD. What can I do? Yeah. But something that's crazy to me, Gus, is we worked in call centers a long time ago. It's like 20 years ago when we worked in call centers. And it's amazing to me how little the technology has advanced. The big thing for me is when you answer the phone, like phone rings and you answer it, which who the fuck's calling anybody these days? And then you say hello, and there's always that long, like 4-second pause.
Because they got to pick up the phone.
That's exactly what it is. It's a robo-dialer, and when they get a connection, then they route it to an agent. So the agent is sitting there, their phone rings, and then they answer as though they're getting the call, but they called you first. And that 4-second delay to this day, I can't believe they haven't eliminated that because it's a clear indication to me that it's a telemarketing or call center.
Then you could hang up first.
I literally do it every time.
Yep.
If someone doesn't say hello in the first 2 seconds after I've said hello, I just immediately hang up.
I've stopped answering random numbers because it's been so bad lately. I don't know.
It was really bad during the midterm election.
Yeah. And then, it was really, really bad. And it was going crazy. And like, I don't know what happened. I don't know if this is still like backlash from the Equifax thing because that I didn't have any
data leakage thing?
Yeah, I didn't have any serious information go, but I'm pretty sure my phone number did because after that, I started getting a bunch of random calls. And so like
people should have gone to prison for that.
Right?
Yeah? For a data leak?
Like that? Yeah, of course.
Okay.
It's insane. And they do things to try and trick you. That's the other thing that's like, have you noticed that they'll
fuck with your credit? Like all your personal information, people could take fake credit cards out, take out loans in your name.
Yeah.
Someone should have gone to prison.
Yeah. And
didn't think about that.
What I want to know is how are they changing their phone numbers to look like yours?
Oh.
I want to know, like, have you noticed that?
Yeah.
So
it's at least always the area code.
They'll do your
always
area
the same
code and the
area
first
code.
3 numbers.
And then if they can, they get as close as possible. So they're like, they're
Which,
like, it's familiar.
What are they trying to trick you with? Like, am I
calling myself?
Yeah, I know, right?
What the fuck?
It's
Like,
just,
this phone number is similar to mine. That must be my brother.
Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah. It's just maddening because now I'm trained to not answer a call that I don't know. And then it's like, man, but what if somebody's in like an emergency and they grab a stranger's phone or whatever? Like,
Well, it's also like if you ever go like to a doctor or something, you likely don't have that doctor's phone number saved.
Right.
And then if their office calls you or something, it's going to be...
That's so funny because I was waiting for a call from my dentist this week.
Yeah.
And I ended up answering a bunch of telemarketing calls.
That happened to me the other week when I was waiting for a call back from a doctor. Insane.
Yeah, it's insane. It's a little insane.
So save the number.
It's off the charts. And now my phone tells me this is probably spam.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, let me read this thing here.
Speaking of...
want to remind everyone, this episode of Rooster Teeth Podcast is also brought to you by...
Did you guys see the picture that Adam Baird tweeted today?
Mm-mm.
The cut on his thumb?
That he got on his thumb?
Yeah.
No.
I don't know if it's just because like I have a really immature sense of humor, but I was scrolling through my Twitter feed and that thing looked like a penis.
Oh, yeah. Cut on the top of the thumb.
I mean...
Oh, yeah. I just looked up. Yeah. I just looked up.
So then the title is Adam Baird's penis.
Yeah, Adam Baird
showed his dick on Twitter. That's the title for this episode.
Also,
of the
Barb,
podcast.
put your top back on.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. To be fair, Patrick and Barb, you've seen a penis from that angle, and the rest of us probably haven't.
Don't you
Coming at you?
It's coming right at you. I can say I've never had a...
coming right at you.
Don't you look at yourself in the mirror?
I think selfies like straight on.
I like the idea that you're looking at yourself in the mirror with your penis perfectly erect where the tip is like in the mirror.
You're gonna have to do some mirror work. Like,
Head
you're gonna have to get
on.
a couple.
Didn't that come out on relationship goals? And one of our couples, like, they sent each other sexy pics, but like the guy didn't know how to take dick pics, and it was like he took one straight on like that,
Yeah.
and it was very aggressive. Right? Yeah.
It's like a sideways smile.
Yeah.
Really. No,
Check it. That's the quality content on our first platform. If you want to go check that out.
So you check out that or Genlock. You know, it's up to you, really, what you want to watch.
Whenever you want.
It's genital lock. There we go.
There you are.
That's pretty good.
Oh yeah, Genlock to the 26th.
Coming close, man.
It's not this Saturday, but next Saturday. We
Next,
had
Holy
Michael
shit.
B. Jordan chimed in with an answer to a question we had talked about on the podcast previously.
Did he really?
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, what was the question?
We have a little clip here. Do I have that clip queued up?
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
Let's show that clip.
I'm skeptical.
Is water wet?
Water wet.
Yeah, can you get water wet? If you pour more water into water, are you making the water wet?
I say no.
No?
I have a firm opinion on this one. I feel like in order to be wet, you have to be dry first.
Okay.
And I feel like water
it's
is
all about
already...
the contrast.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I mean, water is like a liquid. It's
Yeah.
not wet. It's a liquid.
Right.
Yeah.
So then his answer made me think something.
Yes.
It's very true, by the way.
Is there a dry liquid?
Oh, what is that stuff? Damn it.
Dirt?
No, it's like a combination. Yes.
But
Dirt.
that's by definition, that's an oxymoron. A dry liquid.
There was this thing that I
Not
saw.
necessarily.
God, what is it?
Glass.
Yeah, but it's glass. It's not a liquid
Gla-
anymore.
It's a super cooled liquid. That's why it flows over time.
So then glass isn't. That's not true though.
Isn't that true?
I don't think so.
That's not true at all.
I think you're just saying
It's not
shit.
true?
No. No,
is
it's
true.
not true.
Is that Pirtle?
Yeah, Mike got you back.
Fucking old guys
That's
unite.
an
dude. Let's
old
do
man
this.
misconception. Because you two, we got Trump.
Oh.
No. No, water. Glass,
To be
glass
fair,
does not melt down.
You got Trump because we voted for Trump. That's why. That's why. Not because I didn't know about glass.
Glass is not a liquid.
I saw this stuff on Reddit the other day. It was like this. They had put a bunch of sparkles and swirls in it, but whatever. It was this chunk of something, and as they squeezed it, it became liquid.
Is it when you add like baking?
Was it Adam's thumb?
Is it baking powder and water or baking? Yeah, I think it's baking.
Sorry. Did you hear Bernie's joke?
Totally missed it. What'd you say?
He said when you squeeze it, it becomes a liquid. And I said, was it Adam's thumb? So, I don't know how you missed that one, Barb. Fact or fiction?
I'm sorry.
Glass
I was
is a
there.
super cool
It was,
liquid from Scientific
it's like
American.
baking soda and something.
I think it's baking powder
Oh, it's
and
like
water.
it's like kind of like a non-Newtonian
When like
fluid.
if you squeeze it, it gets hard, and if you let go, it's like
It was the
becomes
opposite.
liquid?
They had it was like the chunk of something, and they squeezed it, and it turned into liquid. And it was like, it was on the subreddit. There's this there's a subreddit called like Black Magic Fuckery or something
yeah,
like that,
yeah.
and it's just like weird physics shit. And I saw it.
There's an account like that I follow on Instagram, and the title of the account is "If You High."
If you high?
Yeah, and they just have like really amazing things on there. It's awesome.
I'm always worried to follow like accounts that are just really stupid, even though that sounds like a hilarious account.
Yeah.
I'm just worried if I follow it, like people are going to see me. Because it also on Instagram says, in your feed, so-and-so
Yeah.
started following this. And it's like, what led you to follow
But then
that
if
today?
you go to the account, you can see why someone would follow it. It's just like stuff like that, like cool, like they don't look real. These types of things.
So Scientific American, and this is an article from 2007 saying that it's common conception that glass is a super cooled liquid. It is not.
So it's a common misconception.
It's neither a solid nor a liquid. It's something called an amorphous solid. That's fucking horseshit. They're copping out. They're taking some weird middle ground
it's
on
not
that.
Only horseshit because you're
What's
wrong.
an amorphous solid?
this is the whole
Glass.
like it's a hot dog a sandwich, like it's
No,
a
don't
hot
start
dog.
that shit.
It's a separate thing. It's a hot dog.
You're asking what's a dry liquid? I came up with one. Glass.
It's not. It just said it's not a liquid.
Yeah, but that's like what? It's an amorphous solid. What does that mean? They just made shit up.
I think they found what you're talking about, Chad.
Did they?
Was it this thing?
No, it's not. But that's interesting.
See,
that's the one that
that's what I was
Bart was
talking
talking
about.
about. No,
Yeah, that's what
this
I-
one's the opposite.
What is that?
Can we finish that?
It's I think it's baking powder.
Oh, that's creepy. Oh, that's a non-Newtonian fluid. That
when
looks
you put
like to me.
water and
Oh, you're fine with the
yeah.
non-Newtonian fluids, but you're against the amorphous solids, right?
Listen, non-Newtonian is an amorphous solid. No, Gab did a whole video with non-Newtonian stuff.
Yeah, with those, all the magnetic stuff.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
It's-
find
It's
this.
weird.
Nice,
It's
it's
like
hot.
you just make it with cornstarch and water.
Oh,
And-
cornstarch. That's what I was thinking of.
Oh, was it?
I thought you
Yeah.
said cornstarch, didn't you?
No, I said baking powder. You know.
Dude, while we're on the science section of the podcast, did you see
Yeah, we're fucking nailing it.
that? You remember that last year that object came through the solar system? It was like that cigar-shaped asteroid, and people were like, "Is that a probe from another planet, or is it a naturally occurring
No
thing?"
recollection of this, but I'm gonna go with it.
It looked like that.
No, I never saw that.
It passed through the solar system last year, and some people were convinced that it was like some probe from another world because of the way it came in. Well, apparently I read this interview yesterday with the head of astronomy at Harvard has asserted that device was a non-human solar sail that came through to observe the solar system. It's a really interesting interview with him where he covers a lot of topics, and you should definitely link it or put it out there for people can read it. But he talks about how the scientific community is inclined to say that it's not a probe or it's not something of alien nature, because then that makes you seem like a crazy person.
Right,
that
sure.
He's only confident in saying this because he has tenure at Harvard, that he can get away with saying this. But he talks about some of the ways that a device like this could work, and it was really interesting. He talked about almost like theoretical, right? No one knows for sure, but he said it could be a device where it's almost like a fishing lure, where it's this object that's in space, and then when our solar system comes by, like it picks up the gravity of the sun, and then that's what kind of like activates it and starts dragging it along as well. It could be that space just has these things in them, that they're probes from a forgotten civilization, like that they fired out hundreds of millions of years ago.
Sure.
And we just happened to come across one, and
Like-
it turned on.
Voyager's going to end up somewhere at some point.
Right, exactly.
Right? It'll get out of the solar system, right?
I think it's officially out now.
it's left the solar system that we know about, right? It's
Right.
left beyond Pluto and Neptune.
I think it's out
The
of the
Tesla?
I feel like no, this is Voyager from the 70s. This is actually a really, in hindsight, a terrible idea for a satellite, because it basically has inscriptions on it that show what humans look like and how we work, and then directs people to exactly where we are in the solar system, like with arrows of the planets, everything.
How is that not a sci-fi premise? Like using Voyager.
Actually, I think the first Star Trek movie was
Yes.
Voyager came back and was sentient, or like went off and became a sentient AI thing, and then it caused problems for humans when they fared out in space later. Right? That was the first Star Trek.
I think so.
It had a bald lady in it. I remember that as a kid. It was like fascinated that there was a bald lady. I'd never seen that before in my life. So, but I can't,
It was a wild time back then.
I don't remember anything else about the first Star Trek movie. That's all I remember about it. But the second one, I remember everything about Wrath of Khan.
Wrath of Khan,
of
Wrath of Khan.
course.
I remember all of that.
Yeah.
No one can ever forget the scene with that centipede in the ear.
The worst.
That's like right at the beginning too.
I know.
I thought about it last night because we were watching The Matrix and they put that bug in his belly button.
Yeah.
You know?
I think
And
about
it's
that. I do the same thing. Whenever they bust that thing out, I'm like, I think of Wrath of Khan, and I'm just like,
Something about that. Something about it's going in your ear.
Yeah.
You know what? I was when I was going through this UHD sale on the Xbox, they remade Evil Dead. Did you know that?
What do you mean remake? Like
They made a reboot of Evil Dead, like with like young like CW stars.
Oh, I heard about that, but they changed the direction. It wasn't like camp. There's something about it.
like the Necronomicon.
they made Archie into a dark series, and they made Evil Dead into like a fucking comedy.
Well, Evil Dead was campy already.
Yeah.
I think it was that like it used to be like kind of campy thriller, and then now they went like gore, if I remember.
It's
right.
still a movie, or is it like a series? Or
It was a movie that came out. Yeah.
it was a movie. It was 2013. They made an Evil Dead movie.
Like every time I hear Evil Dead, I just think about him cutting off his hand while he's screaming, "Who's laughing now?" And then I think about all the animals on the wall laughing. It's a weird movie. Have you ever seen Evil Dead?
No,
it's
but now I definitely don't want to.
It's weird.
Yeah.
It's real strange.
I can't.
Is he cut
like,
off his hand in the first one or the second one?
first one I thought.
I don't remember. I
think
also
it's
don't
second
remember.
one.
I also don't remember which has the awful scene with the tree.
That's the first one.
That's bad, man. Like I used to work at a skate park. Surprise, surprise. And
Cowabunga.
yeah, and we had a bunch of movies that we would just like have that people could put on. And I remember walking by and somebody just brought in Evil Dead, and there's like kids here and stuff. And let's just say there's a scene where a woman's running through the forest and a very evil demonic tree grabs her, and things happen.
Oh my god.
It's bad.
It's a bad scene.
It's real bad.
Yeah.
Do
And
our tits fall out?
No.
It was, yeah. Anyways, I remember just being like, hey, you know what? Maybe we don't like leave this out for children to watch. That's probably good. Let's not do that.
Yikes.
Yeah, but they remade that and they remade The Thing, which I guess was a remake. But I always think of the John Carpenter.
What thing?
The Thing, Barb. The Thing.
I just-
Did you know they remade a Thing in the last like 5 or 6 years? I didn't know that. How did this escape us? Were we just busy paying attention to other stuff?
I guess, or maybe it wasn't good. Maybe it slipped under the radar because of that.
But I
Yeah.
would say though too, it's like we would be in the demographic that they would market those movies to, right?
I would think so.
I would think so too. But nope.
Or maybe it's like the kind of thing where you would take your son to because he missed them, like the other movies.
Yeah, they made it in 2011. Maybe so, yeah.
Did you guys watch Aquaman?
I
still haven't seen it
yet.
I did. I saw it. I saw the whole thing.
I saw the whole thing last night too. Woof.
Yeah, you're not a fan?
That movie's about an hour and a half too long.
It's not that bad.
How long is that movie?
I think it's like just over 2 hours. It's a lot.
I will say that, and I'm not ruining anything to say the famous actress that's in it. She's in the very top of the movie.
No, I don't think so.
I was amazed to see Nicole Kidman, and she's fucking awesome.
Yeah, she's great.
Just amazing.
She was probably the best part of that movie.
No, I thought that their faithful interpretation of the design of Black Manta was pretty cool.
That was the craziest thing. When that trailer came out and you saw that it was Black Manta, I was just like, never in a million years would I have expected Black Manta in that outfit to actually make it onto the screen.
It's like if Mysterio was in a Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Which apparently Mysterio, I think Jake Gyllenhaal is going to play him in the new movie.
Really?
If they put
Are they
going
gonna
to
do the orb head?
Yeah, that would be impressive if they did, like the big fishbowl head.
With the big green outfit. Yeah, it's like, oh man.
Or if Man of Steel came up against Mxyzptlk. That would be crazy.
Yeah, Mr. Mxyzptlk.
There was a weird era of just bad villains. And I would argue, honestly.
Batman has the best bad villains, dude.
I would honestly, the Joker to me is the one that people are like, oh, is this person gonna be a bad Joker? Is this person gonna be a good Joker? It's like, it's an evil clown. It's like there was never a point at which the Joker seemed to me to be like a good villain on paper, but people fucking love that villain.
Especially
they
when
love
the darker
Joker.
stuff, man.
Well, I feel like with Heath Ledger's portrayal of the Joker. Yeah. I mean, I feel like
Nicholson
that's
too.
Jack Nicholson did a great
Nicholson
job.
too. Yeah, I feel like there's a bar that's been set.
I almost feel like I can't remember a bad Joker. Like people love Mark Hamill's Joker.
Mark Hamill's
Troy
Joker is
Baker
incredible.
Joker.
It just hurt his voice.
You don't like
to do
the
it.
Jared Leto
Joker.
They did not
That's
like
the
that.
one they
That's
don't
the
like.
one.
That's the one they don't like.
It's because it's such a departure, it seems like, from what that character is.
And also, it was in Suicide Squad, and that movie's a train wreck.
Yeah, that's true.
Like,
Aren't they making a Harley Quinn movie?
Yes.
last
Are
I
they still
heard-
making it? I knew it was on the docket, or did it get scratched?
Oh, I don't know.
Here's how I can sum up my feelings about Aquaman in one sentence. Is that Aquaman is the movie that I was worried Thor was going to be.
Oh,
When I heard they were making Thor, I was like, who the fuck is going to want to see this? It's like based in Norse mythology. It's like the weirdest Marvel superhero. It's not like Captain America. It's not like Batman or Spider-Man. It's like he's a god. How the fuck are they going to pull that off? And I went and saw Thor, and Thor was fucking great.
Marvel has a handle on that type of humor.
They're so
the
good.
perfect level of humor to
but
action.
I feel like they were missing the humor in that first Thor movie, though. Thor's a very different character in the first.
than he is
That's
in like
true.
Avengers and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
But like when he plays the arrogant prick when he first gets on Earth and he's like smashing glasses and stuff, it's like there's some funny stuff in there.
Yep.
So yeah, the Harley
me-
Quinn movie apparently is Birds of Prey. It's coming out February 2020.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
I also saw that Margot Robbie is going to be starring in a Barbie movie, a live-action Barbie movie.
She's going to be Barbie
She's going to be Barbie,
and
Really?
Harley
which
Quinn.
I feel like is the role I thought I was born to play.
She'd be a Barbie girl in a Barbie world.
I was just about to say, let's bust out some Aqua. All right.
My name is Barbara.
You think that's all it takes?
That's all it takes.
I'm sorry you lost your role to
you were
Margot
too
Robbie.
close to it.
so close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They went to go in a different direction.
You would have been typecast
Non-Barbara.
forever after that.
Have you seen like when people put pictures of Margot Robbie next to Jamie Presley?
Oh yeah.
It's fucking scary.
They are so similar, but yet you could like 100% tell the difference.
Right, but even they recognize that they look very similar to one another.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would not be cool if like somebody came along who's like 10 years younger than you and looks exactly like you. I wouldn't like that. That would be a hard thing to deal with.
Like Miles Luna?
Oh, like Miles Luna.
Yeah.
Miles went through a period where he was dressing very similar to me.
Yeah.
I think Lindsay called him out on a podcast once. You know,
Yeah, I
for-
think he was wearing like that, like what's it called, corduroy jacket
Yeah,
blazer thing that
yeah.
you even had.
I'll let you in on a little secret though, Barb. Me and Miles don't rely on our looks for our career. You know, it's like it's not that important to us. I don't think. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to analyze Miles's career too closely, but yeah, it's like if someone looks a lot like me, that's kind of okay.
Yeah.
It's like share the misery. if
Oh,
you
we
want
did
to.
we did that Bird Box video, and Andrew was in it. And like,
Yeah.
like
Andrew
every
wrote
comment
this.
that was about Andrew was like, who's knockoff Bernie? Who's Bernie's son? Is that Bernie? Like,
Which is funny because
Andrew?
not
Yeah.
once have I looked at Andrew and thought He looks like Bernie.
Me either.
No. Yeah.
Maybe with the blindfold on?
Maybe it's the beard. People get thrown off by the beard.
Yeah.
Listen, I always grew up thinking, going back to superhero movies again, that everyone in Superman movies was a fucking idiot because Superman would land, put on a pair of glasses, and then everybody would be like, who's this guy? You know, who's this crazy nerdy reporter? It's Clark Kent. It's like, he's wearing glasses. You should be able to clearly see that that's Superman. Yet at the same time, when Twitter got invented decades later, if people see someone in public who's got glasses and a beard, they're like, this dude looks just like you. Looks nothing like me.
Yeah.
People, they tag Gus in him all the time, too.
Like, I get like, if someone look vaguely ethnic and not white, that looks just like Gus.
Just like Gus. And I think it's like, we don't know, but the way the human brain works for facial recognition is that people, like, everyone keys on something different, like brow ridge or nose.
I would take it as a compliment because it means people watch you and stuff very often.
And they think about you.
Yeah, they think about you.
I don't like the people they compare me to, though. So
You know what's funny?
Yeah, like Andrew. That guy's the worst.
I feel like fucking Andrew and Miles. Blech.
There's been times where I've posted photos of like me with my brothers or my family, and a lot of people have said that my little brother looks like a white Gus. Which I've never got.
I don't
Like,
get
it's in a
that.
picture of
I've
the
seen
control.
the photos every now and then when you tweet them, but
Yeah.
There's a
I've never
pro
seen
Smash
that.
Bros player who goes by Denty, who apparently looks a lot like me. And so we did some stuff in like the pro Smash scene for a bit. We had them over and stuff. And every pro Smash player that I've ever met is just like, dude, you look so much like Denty.
Really?
Yeah.
please tell me his real name's Al, and he's Al Denti. That'd be awesome.
Denty.
That's a real noodle scratcher, Gus.
Is
Oh.
it D-E-N-T-Y?
I think it's DENNTI, maybe.
N-N-T-I.
I think so. I'm sure broadcast can pull it up. But especially when I had my hair longer before I cut off the sides, which you saw some of it earlier.
Nope. I'm not getting anything.
This is part of the podcast where we all just look down at our phones and
we'll just
Google
look stuff up.
things.
We'll be back. We'll be back
trying.
with you guys.
We're
in a
looking at
second.
pro
Oh,
Smash.
there they got it.
So you
Oh,
guys-
there's a recent
you
picture.
guys have-
There you go.
Yeah, no.
When my hair was longer.
I don't see it, mate. No.
It's longer now, but it used to be shorter. Anyway.
I'm just keen on
Oh, there we
something
go.
different.
Hold on.
The hair I
Wait,
kind
I
of
gotta
get.
look off this way a little bit. I'm gonna be sad.
Who do we send stuff to in broadcast? Oh my god. There you go.
He looks like that guy that everyone gets mad that was on Game of Thrones.
Ed Sheeran?
Ed Sheeran. I get more of that from him. I don't even know who that guy is, but I just know him because people
He's
got
a singer.
furious.
You know that song is constantly on the radio that's like, I'm in love with the shape of you?
Maybe.
I'm pretty sure that's him.
I don't pay that close attention. Like, I always like see Post Malone and people talking about Post Malone. I didn't realize that I knew Post Malone's songs until I looked down and there's a song I recognized and I saw Post Malone.
I feel like
I watched a video of someone playing Beat Saber the other day. I was like, oh, that's Imagine Dragons. It's like, okay, I got it.
Yeah.
I know who they are now.
do you ever get experience? Well, I mean, your children are older now, but there's so many like the Kids Bop and like popular songs now that are done in like the kid versions.
I asked you if your kids listen to Baby Shark.
yes.
Remember that we
And
were
you know
talking
what's
about
so funny? Okay, you cursed me.
Did I?
Yes, because
Baby Shark's a curse, dude.
yeah, Bernie asked me the other day. He's like, "Hey, do your kids listen to Baby Shark?" And I think our response was, "No, I have not showed that to them. Like, just to stay away from it." I literally get home and Kira's singing different lyrics to that beat, and I'm like, "What you doing?" And then she's just like, "Oh, I'm just making up a song." And I'm like, "Is it to Baby Shark?" She's like, "Uh-huh." And then she's like, "Hey
Baby
Google,
Shark.
play Baby Shark." And I'm just like, "No!" And then it was too late to spread. And I just had this moment. I was like, he just asked me, and like I had avoided it the whole time.
Do you guys know this Baby Shark thing?
No.
This phenomenon? It's like a little kid's song. And it's just like the lyrics just go, Baby Shark, ooh, 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 Mama Shark, Daddy Shark.
Right now, broadcast is getting mad. We're towing the line.
I'm not singing specifically.
not
I'm
singing,
saying that's
he's-
why I'm just saying the lyrics.
He is saying.
He slammed poetry.
I
in
don't
the
know.
Song.
Your ooh ooh ooh
It was
sounded
pretty
pretty
close.
musical.
That's why, but I wasn't singing the song. I was just, but I was making fun of it because I heard about this. I got to hear what this song is. Those kids are going apeshit for. So I listened to it and I was like, this is fucking stupid.
No, it doesn't matter.
5 minutes later, I'm singing the song. I caught myself.
Yep.
I was like, and it got stuck in my head all fucking day, this Baby Shark song. So anyways, it's phenomenal. Kids listen to it again and again and again. And the song's like what? Like a minute and a half.
Yeah.
It's not even that long.
No, it doesn't need to be.
That's Baby Shark.
There's my that's my little brother.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
That's
Oh,
David.
okay.
That's David, my little brother.
eyebrows and glasses.
Who
eyebrows,
A lot
that's
of
what it
people
is.
say
Yeah, eyebrows
look
and
like
glasses.
white Gus.
Yeah. It's the eyebrows. Let me
Gus,
see.
hold on, go back to him. Can we go back to him? I think, no, sorry, I meant your brother. There we go. Cut. At least with the lighting right now, Gus looks whiter than your brother.
Gus is a pale individual.
I'm pretty pale.
Do you wear sunscreen?
No.
Do you ever get sunburned?
I have gotten sunburned before, but it's not common.
I hate that you started that with I have gotten sunburned as someone with Irish heritage.
Yeah. I feel like you're sunburned right now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
These lights.
The lights are pretty bright.
Yeah.
It's real bad.
I've gotten sunburned from a campfire. You ever done that?
How's that possible?
That seems more like
The sun's just a big fire.
That just seems more like a contact burn, man. Like you got too close.
Yeah, it's all radiation, right? That's what does it. So, yeah.
The sun's just like a big campfire that our planets are all gathered around.
Gus literally just blew my mind.
You ever get sun?
It's just a small sun in your camp, in your campground.
You ever get sunburned from a campfire? You mean burned?
Yeah.
Well, that's why they call it a sunburn. That's why they call it that, because you're getting burned by the radiation
yeah,
from the sun.
Yeah, you're just getting a first-degree burn. I think he's right. You're just getting a first-degree burn from
the
a fire.
Yeah, look, you get it from the sun.
But not in this case if it's a campfire.
What's that?
You're just getting burned. It's just a burn.
But I'm not touching the thing that's burning
right.
me.
But
You're just close to it.
But was it nighttime? Because you had a fire,
How many
right?
Mexican dudes you know that got a sunburn from a campfire? None. Zero.
Just a burn.
It's just a burn.
No, but I could sit next to a Mexican guy or a black guy. They wouldn't get it. I would get it.
I see how it
Wait
is.
a minute.
You're taking all the burns.
It's not. It's right. It's my burn
It's in his
privilege.
name. It's his namesake.
I don't think that's true.
I think it's 100% true. I think it's 100% true.
RT Life.
Let's test it. Let's get a campfire going right here, right now.
Show the diversity of the company, and we'll get somebody with every possible different
Although now
skin
that I
tone,
think
and
about
then
it,
we'll
seems
put
like-
their foot in a fire and see if it burns.
It seems like camping's a pretty white person thing to do too.
Man, we are going down a path.
I'm trying to think if you ever look at like camping
It's
gear,
it's pretty
white, right?
Yeah.
Do you ever go camping, Gus? Do you ever do that? Like, think I'm gonna go camp.
I've been camping before. I don't do it anymore now as an adult.
Right.
Yeah, I did a lot as a kid.
I just did it recently and I got sunburned from
No fun. Here, I'm going to read this thing.
You got
I want to remind
campfires.
everyone, this episode of the Repeat Podcast is also brought to you by...
How much to shave your head? Like all the way down, bald.
Like bald?
Yeah.
Can she wear a wig?
You'd look good bald, I think.
Real
Like,
quick.
you could pull it off.
No.
We need all the details though. Like, can she wear a wig after? What's the time? What's the time frame?
It's just a share.
Just to shave your hair. It's like a big deal. She took a long time to grow that hair out.
Yeah.
Growing hair is tedious. And I'm on camera a lot. Like
I'm just saying, it's not something you would do.
it'd
be a lot.
It'd be like $1 million.
Get out of here, really? $1 million?
Could we throw in the eyebrows as well for free if we're having to pay that much for hair?
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
Whoa.
Also, real quick, someone yelled,
What? You wouldn't do it for $500,000.
I would do it for $500,000.
Okay, would you do it for $300,000?
Eric,
$1 million
do you have
is
$300,000? You're acting all incredulous, but do you have this money? Yeah.
No,
Like, if you came out here with 50 grand in a metal
ridiculous.
suitcase, you probably would do
$1
it.
million is a little ridiculous. I do see that now. Because I think like if someone actually had, here's $300,000 to shave your head, I'd be like, okay.
and you could donate it to Locks for Love.
I had
I could.
Yeah.
a guy that I worked with. He would always carry about $1,500 in cash on him at all points in time. And I was like, why do you carry that much cash? And he said, because if you're ever doing it, he was more of a country guy, so he'd like go buy stuff or whatever. He said, people have a price on something, and then like say they wanted $800 for something, and he just would pull out $600, say, will you take this? There's something like psychologically about when people see cash, they
Cash
go, yes.
now?
They're like,
Yeah.
yes, I will take that. And like they see it and then they take it.
Well, then they gotta declare it and like
I don't know
taxes
about all that
on
stuff.
that.
It's like
more
I'm
of
saying
a
if they came out here with
suggestion.
50 grand in like a metal case, like a briefcase, like a game show, and said, here it is. You'd probably be like, I could do this.
Oh, I don't know if I'd do it for less than $100,000.
That's a car, dude.
$100 grand.
Yeah.
A car.
It's like
How long does it take to grow that back out?
This would take years.
Yeah.
Like this length, probably 6 years,
I've
7
tried.
years.
Yeah, I've
I'll
tried to grow
I'll
my
do
hair a couple
50K,
times.
Bernie, if you want to just do that.
You're
No.
You're hiding your hair anyway.
I know. You can't
You got beanie.
Yeah.
You could just keep some of your
was gonna
hair and
say,
sew it into your
just the
beanie right
front.
there.
Yeah, exactly.
How
And
much?
we wouldn't know.
I might be doing that now, Gus. You
Chad,
don't
how
know.
much?
What? I'd do it for 50K.
How about 25K? We can crowdfund that. GoFundMe. And we don't shave your head. We wax your head. Like it has to be like we get a Pelican Chad's face.
You know what just happened to me?
Professional waxer.
You know what just happened to me right there?
What?
I traveled back in time to Extra Life.
Oh, right.
I just
Oh
I
yeah.
haven't done that on there. I've had my legs waxed.
Could you
but-
imagine getting like over your ears and like your beard, having to wax your beard?
No, okay.
I feel
That
like
got thrown out this year for Extra Life, by the way. That was one of the things we were talking about for
Have
like
your
punishments.
beard waxed?
Yeah, wax the beard.
For punishments.
And I was like, I legitimately was worried that if I waxed my beard, it wouldn't grow back right. Because like
It
I already have
probably
trouble growing hair
wouldn't.
like right here, and so I was just like, man, if we waxed it, like I might really like not be able to grow a beard anymore.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Well,
My-
it probably wouldn't grow back the same way. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. Just like different.
My dad had a weird thing where later in life he got salivary gland cancer. My dad like had everything. I feel like he went through, had heart surgery, had diabetes, he got cancer. So I have to check every fucking box because my dad, but he lived to like 85. So he had salivary gland cancer, and it was like after he had dealt with skin cancer and other stuff before, and we're like, oh, he got salivary gland cancer. They took it out or whatever. Turns out we found out later it's like one of the lowest or highest mortality rates for cancer is salivary
Really?
gland because they don't catch it a lot. Anyway, he got that removed. He was totally fine. But he got radiation treatment. And so they actually gave him like a little tattoo for the markers of the corners of the square that they were using to irradiate him. But the weird thing was he got it when he was like late 60s, I think he got that done. That patch, that square, perfect square, no hair would grow ever again. So when he got 5 o'clock shadow, he had this square missing out of the middle of it, which covered part of his mouth as well.
That's so weird.
And it was like super smooth skin as well.
So that's the secret to like permanent hair loss. Like if you want to never have to shave
just
again.
get cancer all over your
Just,
face.
I mean, you don't have to get the cancer. You just get the treatment.
Just get the radiation.
I
Campfire.
guess that would be a lot easier.
Be good.
Just you stand real close to a campfire, get a sunburn.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like it was a hard line, just like
Yeah.
an absolute line in his face.
It was crazy when that radiation gun sunburned his face.
See, right? Listen, the sun is just a giant campfire in the sky, right? It's a campfire that's burning in space. That's it.
That's what I said.
That's it.
We're saying that the fire is not a sun though, so you can't get a sunburn from a campfire.
But right,
Yeah.
So why do you specify that it's a sunburn?
because
You're
it
the one
came
who
from the
did.
sun.
What qualifies as a sun, though? It's just a star that's nearby. That's
We
all a
named
sun
it.
is.
Right. You know what the sun is.
Just like we named fire and burn.
So I'm saying it's like a campfire is like a really small star that's really close. So if I want to, the sun's gone.
Can we get a poll?
all right.
Can
Well,
we get a poll?
Yeah, please.
Can you
Please.
get a sunburn from a campfire?
Only white
Or-
people
or-
can
Hands up.
answer.
Or is it just a burn? Or campfire burn if you really want to give it a name?
My only white people thing's gonna be totally taken out of context.
It will, yeah.
You know that's gonna come back 1,000
well,
times.
this is like saying,
Yes, it is.
like, the moon gives you moonlight outside. So if you put a light up outside, that's not moonlight. Just because.
Well, actually, technically,
actually
the
the
light
sun.
that comes from the moon is the sun
Sun.
reflecting
The
off the
sun.
moon. Yep.
but
It's still
You ever
sunlight.
gotten a moon burn?
my brain just stopped working.
All right.
I have gotten a
So
moon
here,
burn.
ready?
Have you?
No.
Okay.
Can you get a sunburn from campfire? Go to receipts.com/.
Yes, please. I look forward to seeing where this goes.
These people don't know.
They voted 90-10 and over/under on
You're-
toilet paper. So
here
I'm
it
confident
comes.
in them.
Here it comes.
That doesn't even add up to 100%. Oh, look at that. That's a nightmare. Well, fuck you. You go outside, nerds. You know? Maybe you're just stuck inside all day. Maybe you're getting burned from your fucking monitor, dorks.
Oh, wait, do they get sunburns from their monitor?
What's that?
Do they get sunburns from their monitors?
If they're watching a video of a campfire, maybe they do. Maybe they do, fuckers.
This is about as definitive as the toilet paper over/under.
I feel like this is one time you really needed Gavin on the podcast
No,
to back
I think
you
this
up.
is legitimate. If 13% of the people answering this have said they've gotten a sunburn
now.
from a
Is
campfire.
that what they're saying?
No,
Yeah.
Can you?
that is not.
I'm saying, can you?
Yeah, because
have
how
you.
else would they know? They were really outdoorsy people. They weren't indoor nerds taking polls. So they went outdoors, they went to a campfire, and they got burned.
Are you
and
sure it wasn't
14% now.
I like that you
You're
keep insulting them.
I know.
Are you sure it
Come
wasn't
to my
just,
side, idiots.
My defense mechanism.
was it not just the fire making your face warm and you got flush?
What part of you got
I mean,
the
like
sunburn?
physically,
Was
the
it your
next
dick?
day, I had a very light sunburn from a campfire.
Was it from when you were outside earlier that
And
day?
yeah, when the sun was out,
What's that? I'm telling you,
what did you do outside that
got
day?
it from the campfire.
Why do you think you didn't get it during the day?
I'm gonna look this up. Let's see what Scientific American has to say
I think
about.
It's gonna say it's a
We can,
burn.
we can end that poll. It's pretty much settled.
Yeah.
You cannot get a
14%
sunburn
of
from a
people.
campfire.
15. It went up right at the end.
Wait, was this more conclusive than the toilet paper?
No, toilet paper was more conclusive. It was 90-10.
Can you
Close,
get
close.
a sunburn? Let's see if autocomplete helps me out here.
Oh,
From a
someone-
fire. It's the third thing asked.
That,
Hold on,
okay, people ask if you can get pregnant from a toilet seat. Okay,
Is glass a liquid? It's the third one down also, by the way.
You get sunburns from the sun, but not from a candle. So the temperature of a fire would need to be somewhere between the two before you get appreciable UV and any sunburn risk.
Hotter than a candle, but not as hot as the sun.
Somewhere in between.
There's a bit of a scale there, guys.
Everything's a spectrum. There's black body radiation. This is core.com. That's all fake stuff on there anyway. Let me see. Can you get it?
That's probably your best bet of getting them to agree with you, though.
Are you sure it just wasn't from earlier in the day when the sun was out and you just didn't notice
You know
it?
when you don't notice? Yeah, because then it hurts later. And then
Yeah,
you're like,
or the next day.
Yeah.
But he's just like, holy shit, I was close to that little mini
Exposure
sun
to
right there with all the
chronic
logs.
Infrared radiation can cause permanent changes in the skin. Common causes are heating pads, sitting too close to fires or stoves, and more recently, laptops on the tops of your thighs.
Which is a burn. It's just a burn.
Yeah, but it's just okay.
All right, we're going to wrap up. Before we go, I want to remind everyone that RTX Austin tickets are available for sale. I think those came out this week. Oh, look, we got a graphic for it. It's July 5th to 7th. Badges are on sale. First members this Wednesday.
On Wednesday, yep.
And then general public on Friday.
I miss Gavin.
So,
I'm sorry, Bernie.
thanks for watching.
He was the dumbest person on the podcast.
You did good work.
That was misunderstood.
Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.